I also want to acknowledge and take a moment to recognize something that many of you may have heard about in the past week. It was determined last week that Bassel Khartabil, our colleague and fellow Wikimedian and free culture advocate from Syria, had been executed in 2015, shortly after he went missing from the prison where he had been detained. I wanted to take this opportunity while we're all gathered here to recognize his contributions to our community and to the broader free culture movement. And I want to take a moment to bring some of Bassel's friends and colleagues up onto the stage to remember him and to also make an announcement about how we plan to honor his legacy. Would you like to join me? So I am joined here on stage by Habib Haddad, a friend, colleague of Bassel's, also from Yala Startup. By John Phillips of the New Palmyra Project, by Ryan Merkley, the CEO of Creative Commons, by Mark Surman, the Executive Director of the Mozilla Foundation, and by Barry Drew, also from the New Palmyra Project. Yeah, it's okay, we can applaud. They are all friends and allies of our movement, and they are all friends of Bassel's. And so I want to hand the microphone over to John, who's going to talk a little bit about the project that they've been working on, which is off to our left.
Hi, Wikimedians. Good morning. So Bassel Khartabil was my best friend, and he is exactly like you. I actually was going through my old emails, and I found the first time I ever talked to him, it was just a really casual gift he gave me, which was a patch to my project Open Clip Art. And I think that signifies Bassel and the work that he has done. It's nameless, it's small, it's not in your face. He probably wouldn't be on stage right now. He'd be somewhere out in the back hacking right now. He's a committer. He was someone who was really gifted in giving back and giving to his society. He was reconstructing the ancient city Palmyra. And we relaunched this project called New Palmyra in his honor as well, which there's going to be an edit-a-thon later today about this and more. Bassel is a committer. I think that's the message. He is one of the great ones that his light was just extinguished too early. So please, every time today and tomorrow when you're working on wiki edits, you're doing other things, just remember that maybe down the line, you don't know where you're going to be. You don't know where your friend's going to be. Just think about that. Think about your friends and the people you meet at this event. You don't know what's coming next. So with that, I'm going to give the mic to Ryan.
Thank you. This is a sculpture from a New Palmyra 3D model. This is actually entirely 3D printed. It's 250 pounds of plastic produced by a model that Bassel produced. And we brought it here for all of you to see. So come up close, have a look at it, read the boards, learn about Bassel, and it'll be in the East Ballroom for the balance of the weekend. It underscores something for me, which is the work that we do, the work that you do, that we do together is political. And we can't question that anymore. People lose their lives for things that we take for granted. And for those of us who work in environments where that work is okay and safe, that's a privilege. And we have a responsibility to those who work in environments where it's not. Bassel was a leader in many movements, and most of you don't belong to one movement. I'm a Wikipedian, I'm a Mozillian, I'm a Creative Commoner, I support EFF, and many of you could call out many, many other organizations that you're part of. We need to stick together as an open movement, and you'll hear about that over the course of the whole week, and it's why we're here. It's why we come to these events, to be with you, to be part of this movement. So we've come together to try to honor Bassel's legacy, and so today, these organizations, Creative Commons, Mozilla, Wikimedia Foundation, the Jimmy Wales Foundation, and New Palmyra are announcing the Bassel Khartabil Free Culture Fellowship. We're announcing that today, right here, right now. It's supported financially by all of these organizations. There's a blog post that we're launching concurrently with all the details, which I won't get into, but we'll put out the call for people, especially those who live in environments where they are in danger, for doing the kind of work that we ask people to do every day as volunteers and colleagues. We want to support them, we want to get their backs, and we want to help them do the work that they do so that we can all benefit from free culture and open knowledge. Thank you.
So I am at Bassel in 2009, and it was actually in Jordan when Creative Commons was expanding to the Middle East. And that time I saw only one small facet of Bassel. Little did I know that he was not just a open rights activist. He actually was a social entrepreneur. He helped me actually bring a group of Syrian entrepreneurs to Beirut in 2010 to build a big movement on startups. He was an innovator. He actually built a company with you, Ike Labs. He built a hackerspace in Syria where he hosted all the geeks to come and work on things. He was a journalist. Actually, he got into jail a few times because he wrote his views at that time on religion. He was an artist. Actually, I discovered that after he went to jail. He was an activist, then was jailed, and then in jail he actually started painting, writing, and was a poet. And now that we're actually looking at his letters, we're seeing that he had sent letters of asking his friends to get publishing rights for some books that he was translating in jail, and he was saying, well, my dad would be happy actually to type those. So Bassel's story, Bassel is a unique individual, and he was amazing, but his story is not actually unique. And thousands of Bassels exist out there. In fact, yesterday night, as I was walking down the lobby, the funniest story happened. I introduced Catherine to this lady. So the lady on the counter looked at me and smiled. I was like, I know this person. And then I walked up, and she's like, hey, my name is such and such. You were my mentor in Jordan. It's like, really? I didn't even know. Like, I didn't even put you here. Like, how did you come here? She said, well, I was first in Aleppo, as you know. My parents lost everything. We lost all the cash. We moved to Jordan. I had to build my startup there in health food. You helped me, you mentored me, but then I had to build myself up. And then I moved out. All my family is still there. I'm here now. I'm working in this hotel, and I'm building more cash to build another company after I'm done. So this is the story of the individuals the fellowship is actually encouraging. Bassel's story is not unique. There's many of them out there. I'll end on one poem actually. A friend of mine, a common friend of ours, Muhammad Najm, was exchanging letters with Bassel in prison. And there's a poem that's actually apparently the favorite poem of Bassel and his wife Noura. So it's in Arabic. I read and I'll try to translate. So it starts, وَنَلَنَ مَجْدُ نَحْنُ الَّذِينَ وَقَفْنَا وَقَدْ طَمَسَ اللَّهُ أَسْمَاؤُنَا. Glory to us, those who stood, while God has suppressed our names. نتحدى الدمار. We defy destruction. ونأوي إلى جبل لا يموت. يسمونه الشعب. We take refuge in an immortal mountain. They call it the people. نأبى الفرار ونأبى النزوح. We want to run. We want to immigrate. كان قلبي الذي نسجته الجروح. كان قلبي الذي لعنته الشروح. And there was my heart threaded by the wounds. And there was my heart damned by the dissection. يرقد الآن فوق بقايا المدينة وردة من عطن. Resting now above the remains of the city like a rose from rot. هادئا, calmly. بعد أن قال لا للسفينة وأحب الوطن. After it said no to the ship, and I love my country. And I think this really represents Bassel. He decided to stay back in Syria. Some people fled and were able to get a better life out there. He stayed there. And so, on a more uplifting note, we are celebrating his life, and we want his spirit to keep on going. So I'd like you all to repeat after me when I say a word, just to stick it up to whoever was put him and was putting many others, suppressing other voices. I want you to scream after me the following words. يعيش Bassel, which means long live Bassel. So يعيش Bassel. I'm going to count to 3, and we're going to do it a few times. So يعيش Bassel. You can train now.
يعيش Bassel.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. يعيش Bassel. One more time.
يعيش Bassel.
One last time.
يعيش Bassel.
Thank you.
What's that?
I can't.
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
So it's not, yeah. One of the reasons why John and I and people that have supported Bassel's work are here is just to meet everybody and talk to you. And just quickly, there are 2 opportunities to do that. One of them is tomorrow. There's an edit-a-thon. I believe it's from 11 to 2. It's in the programming, or on the website at least.
Afternoon.
Saturday
Afternoon.
afternoon?
It says afternoon.
I think it moved. Anyway, look on the programming. It's moved around a little bit.
It's on Wiki. It's on Wiki.
It's on the Wiki.
It's on the Wiki.
It's on the Wiki. And where am I? The second thing is we're having a party tonight on a more uplifting note. These are heavy topics, but one of Bassel liked to party. We like to unwind a little too. So from 8 to 11 tonight at the SAT, it's pretty close to here. It's the Société des Arts Technologiques. Everybody's invited to show up. We're going to have a good time, so please have all your friends come there. Thank you.
We'll make sure to get the details of the party on Wiki and also in the Telegram groups for those of you who'd like to socialize later, have a drink, enjoy the company of others, and celebrate Bassel's life and the life of so many others who are creative and open and committed to our mission and bring more joy into the world every day for more people.